Cancelled.
Schweezy.
Time for some Christian cringe. Part of the show where I go over relevant magazine articles and we see the problem I have with them. As those of you who don't know, I grew up in the church, and I've dealt with every facet of everything. I know what's wrong. I know what's right. I know that they're like the Bibles should be taken literally, and they're like, well, debts should be debts should be forgiven every 7 years. And what do Republicans in the church say? No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Anyways, though, I'm not going to get into that because let's get into this. This article I have pulled up right now. 11 youth group kids every church had to deal with. Now, I grew up in youth group. I was a kid in youth group.
Feel like a woman, a real woman.
And and I was always told, like, look for girlfriends in youth group. I'm like, oh, look how that's helped me now. Look how that's going now. Okay. With relevant. So, yeah, I went into the youth group. I was kind of a leader. I did the worship thing. I was playing guitar, trying to talk to girls and shit like that. Didn't work out. But let's read what they have to say here. The appeal to youth group is that it's all so familiar. While the main church service could be formal and even sort of cold, youth group felt like school with similar dynamic social structures and often as not, insane games and snacks. That's part of the appeal. Youth group was often so close to the rest of your teen existence that it could get a little predictable. In fact, certain recurring characters pop up in every youth group. Here are a few of the most common ones. Let's see who I remember from my days in youth group. The kid who already knew the Greek and Hebrew. Jeez. Okay. I have to read this. We get it. You want to be a pastor when you grow up, but where are you, a 14-year-old, getting this seminary level training? Now we have the internet, but when I was an actual kid, when phones flipped and you didn't have internet on your phone, that was very interesting. People fucking bought books for this shit. The people bought actual books to learn the shit. You're like, I'm going to learn the Greek and Hebrew. And I was like, and here's the thing, though. I know a lot of pastors. I've listened to a lot of sermons who will interpret the Greek and Hebrew of this shit. And I can guarantee you they're still getting the fucking shit wrong. They're still getting the fucking shit wrong. The Bible says not to jizz on the floor. That's literal. Remember, the Bible says not to jizz on the floor. We got to take the Bible literally. And we're like, people will take the English literally, and then the whole gay shit. That's very literal. And then we're like, forgiving debts. No, that's not. It's against my political party. The kid who clearly is just trying to find a date. All right, yeah, I know that. The nice thing about this kind of guy is that there's the regular women, there. Once they run out, he's gone. So he's not really that big of a problem to me. Not to me. I'm fucking mad about this goddamn kid. No, it's like you're just trying to find a date. Yeah, I guess you go through it. I went to church with a bunch of homeschool girls, and you're like, okay. Well, the girls in my school don't work out. What about these fucking homeschool girls? No, they don't either. Maybe if I was trying to trade her for a goat, she would have worked out. But not the way I'm doing it. Where I just scrolled too far. The kid who sure seems like they should have graduated last year. Oh my god, you don't know they're in your call. Oh my god. Dude. For real though, there's always that. And I have a couple friends who are like 2, 3, 4 years out, but there was kind of a normal thing for them to be there. They're more volunteers at that point. But yeah, no, at some point though. But they weren't trying to be we're youth group kids. Or we're helping our church youth ministry and stuff like that. That's what they were trying to do. I have friends like that, but I also know the people. So I'm not talking about my friends. So if my friends are listening to this podcast, I'm not talking about you. And if you think you're my friend, some of you need to rethink if we're friends. The ones who know they're my friends, like they know. But like, yeah, though, like there's some guys who are like, I guess, I was in the Christian thing since 2017. I graduated high school in 2012. So I stopped going to youth group like 2011 because I was like, the age range is a little too young for me. And I'm like, I can't do this and stuff like that. And I was still a good Christian and stuff like that. But now you get some of those guys. And now I've kind of realized with those guys, they're trying to get some underage pussy. After marriage pussy, obviously. Don't be weird. You don't know what I'm talking about. The burgeoning atheist who's just trying to prove the youth pastor wrong. All are welcome, Devin, but maybe we can address this after group prayer time. I didn't deal with a lot of these kids. I grew up in the Midwest. I think I think most of us, anyone becomes an atheist when they're more adult. Where I grew up and stuff like that. That's what I would say. Yeah, but if there was ever like an atheist talk, it was never like during the youth pastor's preaching time. It was always like a one-on-one preaching time. That's usually when it was. So I didn't really deal with this kid too much. The pastor's kid. Who wants to call Pastor Steve and tell him Alexis hitchhiked away from Bible camp? I'm friends with a couple pastor kids, so I mean, like, and like they're good friends of mine and stuff like that. Can't really say too much, but I actually know Pastor Steve, and he's kind of a shitty dude. His daughter's hot though, so if his daughter's listening, you know who you are. Hit me up. Hitchhiked away from Bible camp. See, the problem is, like, the Bible camp I went to, you hitchhiked away, and you're hitchhiking your way to no fucking where. I went to Bible camp and no fucking nowhere. But yeah, and we know the pastor's kid, but they didn't give a good example for this. So okay, BuzzFeed. The future's America's Got Talent contestant. I think 45 seconds of guitar solos on Oceans is plenty, Preston. Oh, God damn it, they just fucking called me out. This was me. This was 100% me. This was me 100%. I was like, I want to fucking show off how good I am at guitar. Because, like, we were told, like, you're supposed to find a wife in youth group as a kid. I'm not wrong here. It's time to just fucking show off. I'm not going to be the kid who carries 30 chairs at once. I'm going to do this right. Okay, don't fucking call me out, BuzzFeed. Not you, fucking BuzzFeed relevant. The kid who brought a djembe on every youth group trip, just in case we need a little percussion. Pro tip, we'd never do. Djembes they sound like fucking ass. I hate the people. Cajon. And when I was working at Blackbird Studio, one of the nicest studios in the world, one of the engineers there is like, Cajon sound like shit. I like djembes. I'm like, okay, you're clearly a little R-worded Republican. In case you needed to know. We got a couple more. The kid whose mom is always last to pick him up from the church events. It's more of a youth pastor's problem to me. I mean, it's always a youth pastor's problem. The worship pastor's kid wants to call Pastor Grace and tell her Carissa hitchhiked back to Bible. Whoa, who's the fuck hitchhiked back to Bible camp? Who is this implied to? Relevant? I don't know who the fuck is hitchhiking. Most of these Bible camps are in the middle of fucking nowhere. Jesus. Worship pastor's kid. I've grown up in small enough churches where it's like, yeah, the youth pastor's gonna be the worship minister too, and shit like that, and he's kind of okay. The kid who takes the youth group games way too seriously. Jesus. Okay, these are the people who take gym class too seriously. They're the same person. They just go to church too. We got to remember that. They're that person. And if you're listening to that, I took PE class seriously. You're a fucking loser. And we all know that. You're a goddamn fucking loser. And we all are aware of it. Go fucking... Do you get laid? Because you don't. Especially if you're a youth group. You shouldn't be getting laid. And finally, the kid who took sword drills way too seriously. They're the homeschool kid. Because they're not getting a real education. They're fucking reading the Bible. I'm like, this is my education. I'm like, how are education society, how are we accepting these as like high school degrees? Because of a bunch of fucking bullshit. Oh my god. Anyway, so that's 11 youth group kids every church I had to deal with. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.